have it hot. You can capture this.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Colette Davis, having been appointed to the office of Township Assessor in the Township of Zion in the County of Lake, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of said office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
So help you God. Yay. Okay. All right. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Holmes?
Present.
Trustee McDowell?
Here.
Trustee Fisher?
Here.
Trustee Frierson?
Here.
Chairman Neal?
Here. Mr. Bremner, would you honor us with leading the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, sir. You betcha. Thank you. Are there any agenda changes? Hearing none, is there a motion to accept the agenda as proposed?
Second. There was one misspelling of Miss Davis's name.
Oh, you're right about that. Colette Davis, his name is misspelled. Cheryl?
Okay, got it.
Aside from that, corrections, any other agenda changes? Is there a motion to accept the agenda with that correction?
So moved.
Motion? Second. Motion is second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Frierson?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 5, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting held on September 15th, 2020 at 6 o'clock p.m. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion is second. Any discussion? I just want to give kudos to Grace Gamboa, our administrative assistant, who stepped in as our fill-in for Cheryl being off with that. So, clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Frierson?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Are there any citizens' comments this evening? There are. Okay. Yes, sir.
Madam Supervisor, honorable sirs, gentle lady, I rise before you this evening, as I have every year about this time, to remind you that on the 10th of November 1775, the Continental Congress authorized Captain Samuel Nicholas to raise 2 battalions of seagoing soldiers, to be known as Continental Marines. Every year since that date, every United States Marine everywhere has claimed the 10th of November as his or her birthday. As this date is coming up shortly, I respectfully request that the Zion Township Board of Trustees send the appropriate birthday greetings and felicitations to the Commandant of the Marine Corps, Headquarters Marine Corps, 8th and I, Southeast, Washington, D.C. I do not know the zip code. I thank you all for your time, your attention to this matter, your courtesy. Permission to stand down now.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Are there any other citizens' comments this evening? Hearing none, we'll move on to authorizing bills for payment. Trustee Fisher.
I met with Supervisor Neal and Ms. Davis, our new assessor, yesterday. It was yesterday, actually. Reviewed the bills and financials, and I asked for acceptance of total bills in the amount of $110,064.10.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I just had one thing. I noticed that we had depleted the budget for emergency shelter.
You mean disaster assistance?
It's just under emergency shelter. But I was just wondering if we needed to reallocate some funds there for the winter months.
What page is that?
Page 4, community support.
Oh, so under community support, the emergency shelter, that's actually a stipend that we give to pads so
Got it.
that they'll be available to assist us.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah, I noticed it's great to see the senior transportation, the usage, the dial ride is really ramped up,
yeah.
especially now.
Yeah, it's really good. And actually, just to give you a heads up, I have a meeting with Administrator David Nabel next week to talk to him about the idea of getting shelters in place for the most visited bus shelters for the winter. So I don't know if it's ever been approached before, but I've had a couple of residents that brought it up, and it just seems like a really humane thing to do for residents who are waiting for a bus in the middle of winter or rain or so.
Yeah, I just happened to see on Wadsworth and Sheridan, somebody sleeping in the bus shelter there. It just broke my heart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and then, just to point out that looking at, our entire budget, $110,000, a third of that actually went directly to assistance to residents this month, and much of that is from the CHIRP funds that we got for the CARES Act, so it's been going really well. So any other comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Ferguson?
Aye.
Chairman Yang?
Aye. Item 8, receive and place on file the audit for the year ending April 30th, 2020 per Chairman Neal. If anybody else would like a copy of the audit, we have a whole stack of them here. You're more than happy to take one if you'd like it. So do we need a motion for that, Cheryl?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a motion to receive and place that on file?
I'll make that motion.
Motion. Is there a
Second.
second? Motion and second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Ferguson?
Aye.
Chairman Yang?
Aye. Item 9, consider reimbursement for assessors courses per Chairman Neal. I asked Colette to put together an expense report for the courses that she took. And the practice is, I don't know of a single, in most situations, somebody gets hired into an assessor's office and then they take the courses in order to get the different certifications, and they kind of move up the ladder. In this situation, we had a resident that cared enough about the community that was willing to invest in all the courses so that she could qualify to be considered for the position. And I just wanted to propose it as a possibility to reimburse her for the courses that she took for the certification. She submitted an expense report with the meals, the full expense report, and I just wanted to bring it up for discussion, the consideration of that token of appreciation for everything that she went through to be able to serve.
I mean, I think that's reasonable. We would pay for continuing education hours, right?
Always.
Yeah, and we already discussed this yesterday. I think it's perfectly appropriate.
I agree.
Is there a motion to approve it?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? Mike, anything? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Ferguson?
Aye.
Chairman Yang?
Aye. The very first assessor's report. Assessor Davis.
It is me. So yes, this is my first assessment report. You all tell me if I'm telling too much, if I'm not giving you enough information, I'm glad to adjust the reporting going forward. So the first item is the office was closed due to COVID-19 exposure. Thankfully, the staff all tested negative, and we are back in the office during normal business hours. Due to that untimely incident, we purchased laptops so that we could all continue to work at home. I believe that this investment will also allow for flexibility for working from home
Colette, if you could pause for just 1 second. Excuse me, they had to not do voting after 5 o'clock tonight because we have the township and the city council board meetings tonight. Normally it's until 7 o'clock, but tonight it was just till 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Just got to talk about the votes.
Lynette? There you go. Yeah. Yeah, you can talk to her. What's that?
At 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take. No, that was announced, it would be closed at 5 because of the meeting.
She's in the election, guys. I can get good and I'm sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Colette. Go ahead.
I got the office right here.
We're working on a paperless environment as well. I purchased a cell phone as required. We actually had to purchase a phone to replace the prior phone that was being used by Assessor Wickets. So I have that number if anybody wants it. I attended my first Lake County Township Assessors Association meeting. It was very interesting, very informative. We currently are meeting every other month. Normally they meet once a month. And it's just a great platform for all the assessors in the county to get together, share information, provide support for each other, and things of that nature. It keeps us up to date on legislation and what works and statistical data, that type thing. So I'll be able to share that with my staff and anyone else who may need that information as well. We are currently working through our appeals. We're still working through our appeals. The county has a total of 20,199 appeals. Vernon Township had the highest at 4,200, and Zion has 400. We're currently focusing on the commercial properties. We are negotiating with some, making offers, and reaching settlements with others. So it's more to come on that. And we have the majority of our residential appeals are done. Our expected end date is November the 7th. And that's it. Any questions?
I just want to give Assessor Davis huge kudos. So the plan was that she would begin working on September 16th under the guidance of Assessor Wickets for 2 weeks, and then he would officially retire. He ended up getting sick, and so Colette never worked a single minute with him. He ended up being sick the whole time, and she took the reins and ran with it to the point where she sent me a picture that was that on Friday. Her staff actually bought her flowers and a card saying thank you for how well she took the lead. So that says a lot, because you know how to, it's always a little tumultuous when you make a shift like that. So the transition was really smooth, and Colette dove in and asked all the hard questions, and in a really understanding way. So yeah, it's been a delight watching how she's just blended right in and come over. She's come over with a list of questions. Sandra, one day, she was like, don't ask me for anything, because Colette has me all day. I've got a stack, I've got a list, and I'm going to be helping her. So it's a delight to work with you. And so, yeah.
A way to dive in the deep end.
Amen. Right? Yeah, no earplugs or nose plug, just go. So, yeah. So, okay, moving on to item 11, Supervisor's Report. Just a few things I'm just going to share. One, ELF Network. We are looking for families for this year. And Mike, I hope I sent that to you, that they are not going to be doing the packing at St. Mary of the Angels Church this year.
You did.
It's going to be at the Warwick Building.
Oh,
Right?
a lot easier.
I was like, oh my gosh, that's like perfect, which is good, because we would end up going down. I had
You mean everybody is coming to the Warwick?
everybody's coming to Warwick instead of everybody going to Chicago. So yeah, I think because of COVID, they had a lot of issues, but a number of the items were being stored down there anyway. So they would have to transport them to Chicago and then disperse it. So they're just going to do it there. So yeah, Rick was really happy to share that with me. So
And I'm also letting them know that if they end up having, where we can adopt additional families this year because we don't have the dinner or anything, so if there's an opportunity to help more families, if they have more resources, that we could do that. So I hope that's okay.
No,
Yeah.
we'd rather go to Chicago.
No, cut it off. Got our number. And so we've been working on that. And then we met last week, the ZB Quarterly, with all the different taxing bodies. And I thought for sure the group was going to say, let's hold off until after COVID before we do our next publication. But all but two were 100% yes. So I was really surprised. I mean, very surprised. But everybody's gung-ho with moving forward with that project. So there's an opportunity. The city has 2 pages, so I know that they struggle with what to put in for it. But when I had originally met with Kirk Henderson, with the police chief, he was like, that might be a really good opportunity for some stuff, and especially with snow removal and stuff, there might be some really good opportunities to share stuff with the residents. So if in your other hat, if you could, any of your guys' stuff, if you think about anything your departments could share in those 2 pages so that they're not struggling with that would be awesome. And then last but not least, we have decided the Park District sent out a mailing that really helped people to know that they were open and in business. And so we put together a postcard to also send out. And then in conversation with Trustee McDowell, realized that this is not the time to send out a postcard. Because people are inundated with political postcards. And so we're going to wait until after the election to send that out, but we're getting them printed so that we can give them out to all of the families at Trail of Treats that lists all of the different resources that we have so that they can have access to that. So that will be coming out. And I think, and just to update you, we submitted a request for the expense reimbursement for $8,903.94. And it was after that we realized that we should have included Assessor Davis's laptops that she purchased as well. So Sandra put in a supplement to it. We don't know if it'll be accepted or not, but we did submit that. So hopefully that will work out. And I think that is all that we have that we need to bring up. So a very, very busy month. Numbers are through the roof, but the team is holding up and working really hard at that. So just one other thing, I'm actually in beginning conversations. So we had a situation throughout the last few weeks with a gal that was homeless on a bench, and so worked with a number of different people and organizations and trying to get the number one issue that we have in our community, which is an awesome issue to have, is that people care so much, and so they want to do things to help people that are in need. And I took a program through Love Inc. And they talked about the idea of like somebody leaving church and they trip and they fall on the ground, and so everybody runs to get them like pillows and blankets so they can be comfortable, and they ask if they're hungry and they run and they get them food, and the real work is in like helping to lift them up and get them the resources they need, and we have a tendency to not know how to do the harder work. So we had 2 gals that actually picked up this gal and took her to a hotel and did some things, and within a day she was back on the bench, and they had just released it, and they returned all the money that was donated on Facebook for that situation. And so finally that line, it allowed for the opportunity for pads to come in, and Melvin Ford is an incredible frontline worker, and so they're going to be helping her with those resources. So they came and got her today when she finally agreed to go with them as it was getting cold. So just really asking residents that instead of food is one thing to keep people from going hungry, but gift cards and those types of things, what it does is it just feeds the situation, and it keeps people from actually getting the help that they need to. And a lot of times getting help is really hard because you have to like follow different rules and do different things that you're not comfortable doing, and it's a lot of times just way easier not to. But as a community, so one of the things that we did with the 2 gals that helped her in this situation, we're putting together an advocate package with the releases and everything so that they can know what the resources are so that we can work as a team instead of residents feeling like they have to go out on a limb, because actually our biggest advocates we've gotten because people have gone out on a limb and helped people, and then it ended up being way more complicated than they realized. And so then they came back and we strategized, and So just recognize that we're doing that work. And we're actually, in the very beginning conversations with PADS about if we hired a part-time outreach worker. So somebody that would actually go out, because we've had a number of homeless, a number of different situations, and had a long conversation with Bob Sperano, and he was excited about the idea of being able to have someone and intend on, we're checking on our insurance. That's really the number one thing, what the insurance rates would be to hire a part-time person for that. But then I was going to have a conversation with Chief Henderson about how that could be helpful. And actually, the person that we're considering, and the reason that we brought this up was Kim Whiteside, who is community advocate extraordinaire. She has no problem. She is constantly in our office about different situations. And we thought it might be really beneficial for her and for us if she understood where the guardrails are to be able to help and was working on the team to do that. And it would be strictly part-time on call. So I'll bring that up at the next meeting. It'll give you guys some time to think about it and look at some more facts to be able to do that. So something, because we're getting more and more individuals, and she's built relationships with every homeless individual that we had. She'd call, okay, here's what we got. One of them, she got him a job, and he ended up being fired within 2 days. And but we have other resources to be able to help them if she can be. And Melvin Ford and PADS, they were really excited because they've got 2 outreach workers for the entire county. And that's really hard. And they try so hard, and they get slammed by everybody because they don't do enough. He was like, if this could be a pilot program for how that could work, working with PADS and working with the communities, that could be really helpful. So we'll see. So just trying to, think outside of the box on how we can help the best with getting resources. So that's all I got. Any questions, comments, concerns? Nothing? Okay. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee Fireson?
Aye.
Chair Reed.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.